Okay, so how or why did I become an artist? Hi, my name is Shakti, and I'm an architect and I'm a musician. I did my undergrad in architecture and I did my uh, master's grad program in music. Um, but that is like more than a degree. I felt like for me it was about putting myself in a bubble where other people were sleeping, breathing, dreaming the same thing. So if I could create or simulate an environment like that, I feel like, because a lot of times curriculum doesn't really capture what we need, or it may not be what we're seeking, but if it opens doors to a world that we have discovered speaks to us, I feel it is ours to walk through it. So what connects these two worlds? I feel like they're so similar, and it's pretty much IRL UX, I would call it. And at the core of architecture and music, it's what we're defining and designing is the lived human experience across time. And the potential we have when we play with either of these mediums is to facilitate human connection, to tell a story, to make magic, and to make memories. And I feel like it works both ways because this is one of those things where the creator is also engaging in making memories and making connections, and also that is also the offering. So it's like on both sides of the coin, that is what stays true. So with architecture, what fascinates me is acoustic design, immersive experiences, immersive design, and basically anything that has to do with sound or sonic related problem solving. That's like my jam. And with music, I'm a songwriter, a composer, a producer, recording artist. I also perform on stage. I've been releasing my music independently. So again, going back to the idea of if we can be our most authentic self, um, the thing is, if I feel like I'm a purple flower, or if my friend is a yellow flower, or if you are, I don't know, a weird colored flower, I feel like how can we facilitate being that at all times without having to compromise on that? So every time, every day, every week, every month, we have opportunities where every time we decide to do something, it can be a project, it can be an assignment. I feel like the question we need to ask ourselves is it taking us closer to what we identify as, or is it taking us further away from it? So is it bringing us closer to, if I feel like how can I be the bestest, purplest flower ever? Or what I felt like? Or how can I make sure that I'm able to do that for the people around me? So it could be that you enjoy staring at fountains, and what if you could just spend 10,000 hours staring at fountains, and then eventually you decide you're going to make a fountain, and that would be one hell of a fountain. But in the society that we live in, a lot of times we are told, okay, it's not really productive staring at fountains. So you should either go to this class or this school and chip away, or like pay these bills, and like productivity has been construed in a way that anything that is not directly productive is oftentimes looked at as unproductive. So I feel the question we have to ask is it in alignment with ourselves, and can we continue going on that path? Okay, that was just all of our rehearsal footage mashed in, like, unadulterated, unprocessed. Um, and this is from a concert that we did in Coimbatore some time ago, and this was from a concert in Kerala. On the left is KM College of Music and Tech, which was founded by Dr. A.R. Rahman sir. And I've had the opportunity and, how do I say, the honor of having designed this. This was my very first project straight out of architecture school. And so basically the rehearsal footage was more to show you guys, like, every person was being their own best selves. If anybody had not picked up those instruments, I wouldn't have these bandmates. I wouldn't have Keba killing it at the guitars or Ritu killing it at the violin. And like, so we all feed off of each other's energy. So if one of them had decided to be a coder, I would have been like, no, I would have lost. Not to say that you can't do both. There is a quotient of how crazy are you about the thing that you really want to do, that sometimes, even if you are nervous, you have to take the courage to sing in front of 50,000 people or go on stage with someone who I've grown up literally worshipping and admiring. And also like a whole bunch of other artists who are like killing it at a whole other level. So I feel at some level it's also having an athlete mindset and being able to put in the work every day. Not because there is validation or rewards, because you enjoy doing the thing at its core. So how does one decide to be a professional artist? And I feel this is a question that gets asked oftentimes. I've had people approach me. We even had a fun conversation in the car yesterday with Altaf, who was like, what do you do like when it gets hard? Or like, how do you still stick it out? Because you don't have answers, right? If like you have family who's asking you, okay, how are you going to sustain yourself? You don't have an answer. So you can think this is like a way in which a litmus test or a formula that I've realized. Does it make sense? If it makes sense, then you have to do it. If it doesn't make sense, if nothing else in your life makes sense without the thing, then you know you have to do it. And there is no point not doing it. And sometimes it won't math out, the logic won't make sense, but it is its own logic, and you just have to do it and dive right in. And this is something a friend of mine posted on Instagram about how do you take up a new opportunity. So when you get a new opportunity, is it a yes or a no? Is it a hell yeah? Then you consider it more. And if it was half as rewarding and if it took up twice as much time, would you still do it? And I think that's a good metric. Like without the rewards, if it gets extra hard, if you didn't get paid for it, if you had to put in your own money, if you would still do it, that's when you know you really, really need to do it. All of this is to say, like being a professional artist is like getting up every day and making a choice. Like there is no contract. It's more like signing a contract with yourself and saying that, okay, today I choose to do this and again and again and again and again every day, even when it gets, and like being comfortable with the unknown bits and being ready to figure it out. And that's where it lies. And this is just some of the questions I've been asking myself, like why do we make art, like beyond purpose or beyond, like do we make it to express ourselves? Do we make it to say this is me and I was here? And why did people make like the pyramids, or why did humans so many years ago like do cave paintings and all of these things? And why does our hometown and like our names mean something to us? Or why do we need to have this extension of ourselves? I'm sure you would have gone to a park and some tree would have had like a heart scribbled on it and with somebody's name on that, right? Yeah, all of us would have seen it. And I'm like, why do we have this human need to leave our imprint on earth? And like some cave painting that has a very badly drawn cow, but that human being felt the need to scratch that stone and like say this cow existed. And like it also tells us something about the community they were part of. And we are all leaving our imprints behind in sand in like different forms, so to say, even if it gets washed away. And these questions kind of led me to this project that I've been working on now, which is called Soundgarden. It's an immersive, interactive sonic experience, which brings together many things that I really love. And I'd love to do a demo with all of you. Can we do a demo? Okay, this is going to be powered by pure human imagination. So I'd love for all of you to close your eyes and imagine a space where everything is magical. And imagine there's like fireflies floating around and you're stepping onto clouds that are glowing. And you see these stars that are floating around and that are glowing. But these stars are very, very special. Every time you approach one star, if you were to touch one of these stars, they would actually trigger an audio sample and they make a sound. So you can, if you pretend to touch one of these stars with your hands open, I would actually like to trigger these for you. The only thing is you might have to raise your hand quite a bit. Okay. Okay, don't be shy. You can play with them. Maybe there are a few stars in the corners that you want to go and touch and play with and explore. So it's a little bit like a deconstructed instrument, but also more like a living, breathing space where people can come in and navigate themselves and move around spatially and touch and play with sound. Because a lot of times we receive sound in a very passive sort of way, even if the sound itself might be spatial, and we don't really get to affect and actually put our agency to use. And most of the times when we have instruments, there's also mind block because a lot of people may not know how to play that instrument or actually engage with it. So the whole idea of creating this project was to get people to just play and meet each other like kids on a playground. You could just toss a ball and you don't have to, no communication required. And it's always been a wish list for me to make it accessible for people to play with music and just feel that joy of playing with sounds and creating sounds. And we've been working on lots of sound banks in different moods. So the one that you just heard, it's in this Carnatic ragam called Neelambari. And a lot of the lullabies are actually in this Carnatic ragam. So this is my version of Ikigai, I guess, where architecture and music and a whole lot of other things. And I'm currently thriving in the figuring out of the many things. I don't know if the text is small for you to read, but basically at the core of it all, there's human interaction, getting to explore new things, telling a story, and bringing together my love for space and human experience over time, and bringing both music and sounds and the idea of play, but being able to curate it and create a medium that is accessible to people. And that is the special batch of cookies that I've been working on with some incredible collaborators who are part of the team. And yes, that brings us to our last bit, which is the songwriting. I have one song that I would love to play for you guys. Can I get some?
Hey there, old friend. I feel you breaking down my walls, and I am looking for a way out. Trying so hard it hurts. Hey there, old friend. You've got me crawling on the floor. Hey there, old friend. You know I've got nowhere to go, and I am looking for a way out. I've been trying so hard, and I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Running around in circles, trying to escape from you. Running around in circles, trying to escape from you. I don't want no happy pills, they make me feel sad. Why should I pay a price to be myself when the world is going mad? Oh, I know I'm a little crazy when it comes to you and me. I hear them say that truth is gonna set me free. Oh, hey there, old friend. I see you from the corner of my eye. Hey there, old friend. I know it's time to say goodbye, and I am looking for a way out. I've been trying so hard, and I'm trying. I'm trying. I keep on trying. I'm still trying.
Thank you.